hopefully this guy will be able to keep his jib, yeah.
We are Cam and Heather on Sea Clef, and we are on the trip of a lifetime. Come share in our adventures as we take you through the Great Lakes to Chicago, down through the river system of the Midwest, along the panhandle of Florida, across the Gulf of Mexico, and down the west side of Florida, crossing through the Okeechobee Waterway to eastern Florida. Then share in our adventures as we continue throughout the Bahamas and back up the eastern seaboard, finally returning to Canada on America's Great Loop. Today's video takes us from Hilton Head Island through an anchorage in Church Creek and onward the next day to Charleston, North Carolina, where we experience our most fearsome storm yet on our loop. On our first day, we traveled from Hilton Head Island to the Church Creek anchorage. We did have an alternate anchorage picked out along the way, just in case we did not make it to Church Creek, but this anchorage was our preferred stopping point for the day. Today's travels were 66.7 nautical miles, and we departed at 7:05 a.m., arriving at our Church Creek anchorage at 3:30 p.m. with an average speed of 8 knots. We would be crossing two sounds today. The first, just past Hilton Head Island, is the Port Royal Sound, and the second was the St. Helena Sound. There were two inlets as well, but we were well west of the mouth, and they did not present a problem for us.
Good Monday morning from the bridge of Sea Clef.
Monday.
We are leaving Hilton Head Island this morning. We've been here 4 days.
Yeah, it's been nice. We've gone bike riding every single day, and it's been amazing. The Hilton Head, the sea pines plantation has got bike paths. I don't know, forever, everywhere. It is a spectacular stop, and if you have bikes, it's even more spectacular.
So we had a great time visiting places that Cam's parents were recommending to us because they've been coming here for years and years. We saw some friends from back home, which was a lot of fun. And always make new friends, meet new loopers.
Yep.
Today we are traveling with Odyssey, and we've met them several times before.
That's Odyssey, not Odyssey, but
It's a take on their last name.
yeah.
So they're behind us right now, but they are getting off at Beaufort. Not to be mistaken for Beaufort. Beaufort's in North Carolina, Beaufort's in South Carolina. We are going to Edisto.
Edisto or Church Creek. I was looking at, we'll be in Edisto by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we might continue on to Church Creek. We'll see.
That will be an anchorage for us tonight. Either of them will be anchorages.
Yep.
And then hopefully onward to Charleston the next day. So today we have to cross the Port Royal Sound. You know, originally we were going to leave Hilton Head on Sunday, and then we looked at the weather and went, not so great. So we got an extension so that we could leave on Monday. Of course, yesterday, about 10 or 10:30 in the morning, we realized that yesterday ended up actually being a better crossing day than today. But by that point, it was kind of late to be leaving, and we didn't have enough time to really pull our
feet available for us, 32 feet closed, as we cruise on through this swing bridge in Beaufort, where we don't have to stop. We came from this direction, that entrance right there, and we're headed out toward, I guess, essentially toward the ocean, but really, you probably can't see it because of the sun, but somewhere out there, right about there somewhere, is a marker. It's a red marker, and we're going to go down just past that red marker, and then we'll turn and head across the Port Royal Sound. And I guess at that point it might be a little bit rolly because we'll be in a beam sea. But again, I guess they're probably 2-footers. Anyway, beam sea, and then we pass red marker 246 and start heading up river, at which point we will have the tide with us. We are in Port Royal Sound, and it is
Just at the beginning of it.
okay. We're at the beginning of Port Royal Sound. From what we can see so far, it is no brainer. Very, very slight roll, easy. We're what are we, against the tide right now? I think the tide is coming at us right now. We go around the bottom of those markers, and then we start to head back up again, and then we'll be with the tide, and we'll get a bit of a push. Right now we're actually getting pushed. Going through the Ashapoo.
Yeah, and interesting thing about that, we had Navionics do our route, and then we always go through it to make sure we like the route it's chosen. We adjust things. I should say my captain does that all the time. So we noticed that when we were going through the St. Helena Sound, that Navionics had charted us in the much deeper channel in the Edisto River, South Edisto River or something like that. Anyway, we realized that the ICW actually goes through the Ashapoo River?
Ashapoo Cut, I think.
Ashapoo River Cut.
film our arrival because batteries were all dead. The time-lapse camera. I had intentions on taking that ring boat right there, but we got up close to it and we just didn't trust it. And there's only one that just seemed a little odd to us. So we came in and dropped a hook at low tide. There's crab pods along the perimeter on both sides. Make sure that you're not in the room of swinging into them. But other than that, we dropped our hook and it was an instant grab. It was a strong grab, and we've been swinging with a couple other boaters without issue. We've come 180 degrees from where we first were. When we arrived, we were pretty well almost stern to that marine back there, and just about facing it. So we've come almost 180 degrees, and so we'll swing back and forth with the tide. But we know that we've got good swing room and good grab and a nice sunset. Our second day of travel was quite short. We traveled just 19.7 nautical miles, departing Church Creek at 8:30 a.m. and arriving into our marina in Charleston at 11:40 a.m. We averaged just 6.1 knots today, but there was a reason for this. We had to time our arrival into Charleston Harbor Marina to time the tides. I'll explain a bit more about this a bit later in the video. Northbound, and we're just coming into the Charleston area, and we were going to swing, because of where we are, we're actually going to swing around below the island here and come around the tip of land, I guess, out toward the entrance of the channel in from the ocean, and come back up the other side, which is where we have our slip for the day. Couple days. We've been advised to arrive at slack tide. He's given us very clear and explicit instructions on how to arrive, how to have lines ready, and when to and not to depart. And so we have been careful to time this arrival. We are currently arriving at 11:37, and he said that we could arrive anytime between 11:30 and 12 o'clock, but once 12 o'clock arrives, we'll be faced with the dead tide, and he says you'll have to wait until after 5 before you try and tie up. We arrived at our marina without issue and secured safely for a few nights. The marina was quite nice and had a great restaurant, but was a fair way from downtown if you wanted to tour Charleston. That night, we were faced with a significant storm in which several boats in the anchorage just outside the marina ran into trouble, and many vessels in the marina itself suffered wind damage. We're in Charleston. I'm not going to be able to stay out here very long. Just had a huge gust front come through. You can just see the front over here. On there. Rain is here imminently. The winds are cracking. Okay, the rain's coming. Gotta go.
Safely inside. It
It is really wild out there. I don't know what the winds are. There's a couple of guys out on the outer dock. You can just kind of see the, well, maybe you can't see the anchor light of this guy out here.
Alert again.
But I'm not going to go out there and have a look right now.
Storm Prediction Center. I think there's going to be a storm. Risk of severe weather in your area in the next 24 hours.
How about right now? There's white caps in the marina.
Heavy rain.
Oh, there's
starting
waves
in
in the
11
marina.
minutes.
Very violent. Happy to be tied in a slip rather than anchored, I think. It's getting worse out. You really can't even see the boats that I was pointing at earlier. I have no idea what the winds are like right now. Everything seems okay. Just realized we'd left our flags open, so obviously I'm not going to go close them up at this point, but it's quite something out there.
Hopefully this guy will be able to keep his jib, yeah.
Their boat is just violently going.
So far so good on the jib.
And they're not hitting each other. Following the storm, several boats were damaged, but much to our relief, we fared just fine on Sea Clef. The following day, we spent time touring the 888-foot USS Yorktown aircraft carrier. The Apollo 8 space capsule was on display on the ship, as the capsule was once retrieved after splashdown by the Yorktown. There were 4 self-guided tours on the ship, taking you through the various areas of the ship. We made it from the bowels of the engine room right up to the bridge of the ship.